What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Retro Game Scene. This is our really cool show where we chat with cool and interesting people in the local gaming community, and then we make them play a video game for the second half. Today, our guest is Drew Kimball. He is co-owner of Galaxy of Games over in Herriman, and also a hardcore collector as well. You've been collecting since you were kind of young, right?
I mean, as soon as I could walk and grab a controller, I was playing.
Right on, man. So do you have a pretty impressive personal collection as well?
I do. I'll be real. I sold a lot of it to get the game store started, but I had bought a lot of it back, and going to a lot of conventions, I bought a lot of games back.
Right. And well, I've been through that before plenty of times. I've had to sell off my collection more than a few times. And every time I look back and I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't. But I think the last time I sold off my collection was also to buy a video game store. So
yeah, hey,
same boat.
It's for the cause.
Definitely don't regret it. Yeah, for sure, man. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself, your history with video gaming, and a little bit about your store.
Yeah. So, I mean, I born in Salt Lake City, Utah native. So growing up in the 90s, I mean, we were fortunate to have some of the best video games. I mean, I was introduced to video games on the tail end of the regular Nintendo Entertainment System. My parents wouldn't ever get us one, but my friend up the street, Brandon Gagnon, had one, and I would just play games with him all the time.
Nice.
And then, yeah, I think it was 1991, we got a Super Nintendo, and that Christmas we got a Sega Genesis. I think we got those around the same time because I remember spending a lot of time between both consoles. So.
Yeah, those were both the 16-bit era, so they came out around the same time. I grew up on like the NES. I did a little Atari 2600 first, but mostly NES. I played a lot of like that first Ninja Turtles game that everybody likes to hate on.
I love that game.
I loved it. Yeah. And
that's why you're a good gamer, Michael.
It's because it's the hard games.
It's the hard game.
That's the era when they were still trying to do the quarter munching, even though there weren't any quarters.
It's just like, they're never going to figure out how to jump across this ledge in the first level. And you're,
oh, I know. Right. But yeah, well, especially with Ninja Turtles, there's a ledge that looks like you're supposed to jump across it, but you have to walk across it. You know which one? Yeah, yeah, right before the dam. Yeah, which everybody loves to hate on too. But I grew up playing Ninja Turtles 1, Astyanax, and Zelda 1, and of course Mario and Duck Hunt.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But it's funny because like they say, don't judge a book by its cover. But I literally played Nintendo games because of the artwork.
Right.
So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game was like, look how sick this is. I'm gonna play this, and then you get the game, and it's like, this is complicated.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then
you're swimming, getting zapped. I'm like, ugh.
Well, and the enemies in that game, like those are not Ninja Turtles enemies. Like there's a guy that's made out of fireballs. Yeah. Like I don't know what, but I mean, I enjoyed the heck out of it because that's what I had at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the arcade game came out, and that was just night and day difference. It's a completely different game.
Oh my gosh, I would go to the drive-in with my family and not watch the movie. I'd be at the snack bar playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game.
Heck yeah, man. Bring quarters with you.
I would. And my mom would go, he's missing. And then I'd be in the snack bar playing.
So would you say that video games have always been kind of your calling then?
Always. It's so funny. Even at my wedding, my mom was roasting me about how often I played video games. And it's funny because she would say things like, you're never going to make it playing video games. You got to go to school, get a 9 to 5 and blah, 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 go to college. And now I own a game store, and she came to the ribbon cutting, and it was like, when I gave my like shtick or my spiel, my mom was in the audience, and I was like, well, Mom, here we are.
You gave her some grief about it.
Just my mom and I have a great relationship.
I love that.
I think she always supported my artistic, interest and never pushed me to do one thing or another. She wasn't ever controlling like that. But yeah, man, I mean, between my relationship with video games, it's fun because if you come to my store, we got everything organized by the console.
Yeah.
And I could literally tell you where I was, what sleepover I was at.
When you first saw
when I was playing like NBA Jam or Mortal Kombat, or when I figured out this fatality, or, we were playing Street Fighter 2 at the laundromat.
Nice.
Because we'd ride our bike to the laundromat. And it's just fun because those memories are part of my childhood. So video games to me have also been how I've created friendships, and I'm still
absolutely the same. Yeah. Almost all of my good friends now are people that I met selling video games. Right. We used to go to these retro game nights at Gabe Gerard's house. If you've ever met Gabe Gerard,
sounds familiar, but
he founded Utah Retro Gamers. He was episode 3 of our show. Yeah. And he would just shop at my store and just be like, hey, do you guys want to come hang out at my house and play video games with strangers? And I was like, oh, sure. Yeah. And
sounds pretty safe.
Well, I was in my early 30s, late 20s or something like that at the time. And so I was still open to adventure. And and like most of the people that I've met doing that have been lifelong friends, just like coolest people ever. Even back when I was, a young guy back in middle school and high school, my friend groups were groups that would come together to play Halo. You know what I mean? We'd system link Halo in high school. And
for us, high school was GoldenEye. Mario Kart 64 came out. And I mean, they shorted, right? Nintendo only made so many. So it's like Tickle Me Elmo, Nintendo 64 were like the hot commodity Christmas gifts that year. And like, if you got one, you were cool. But if you didn't, your parents didn't love you. But it's like the availability was so limited.
Oh my gosh. The very first console I ever bought with my own money was PlayStation 2. Technically, I didn't earn that money. I sold something that I had gotten gifted. But I bought a PS2, right? Played the heck out of that. And one day I traded it with my friend who had a 64. It was going to be a temporary trade, but it ended up being a permanent trade because I loved the 64, man. I played the heck out of like Smash Bros, Mario Kart, even Jet Force Gemini. I made it all the way through that friggin' game. So
that's a hard, and Conker's Bad Fur Day, all the classics.
I never played that one
on that console.
I didn't know about Conker's Bad Fur Day until I started like buying and selling it, and I was like, oh, that's an expensive game. Why is it expensive? And everybody was
jokes.
Yeah, no, for real. I knew the name Conker because my little sister had a Game Boy Color game that was before he was bad, and it was like go around, find the birthday presents, and it's a super adorable, cutesy game with Conker as the main character. And so when I found out about Conker's Bad Fur Day, I was blown away. Like I missed that entirely in my childhood.
Yeah, I mean the PlayStation 2 though. It had probably the longest running game titles of its era.
It's got the hugest library.
Yeah.
Well, especially if you include PS1, because it does all of those.
I think they stopped printing PS2 games after PS4, right? Like PS4.
Did they really?
Because it was going for
man. I'll have to Google that and find out.
But there's a ton of good imported games too on it.
Oh my God. So many exclusives.
Yeah. So many exclusives. So that was, looking back, I mean, at the time you did what was right, but I'm like, man, I don't know, that trade makes.
No, I did mess up a couple of times in my youth, and you look back at it and you cringe at yourself. There was one time, me and my brother had some friends over and we were going to play, I think it was like Street Fighter EX2 or whatever on the PS2, and we needed a multi-tap. So I went to Best Buy to go buy a multi-tap. And while I was there, I saw a copy of Tales of Destiny 2 for $40. And I was like, I really like Tales of Destiny 1. I really want to get that. But my brother's waiting for me he wants me to come back with a multi-tap. So I bought the multi-tap instead, and I never saw that Tales of Destiny 2 ever again.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a really hard one to find. I think it's like $140 these days or something like that. And
a lot in the wild.
I missed out. And then one time when I first moved to Utah, I sold a chunk of my collection for gas money because U-Hauls guzzle gas.
Yeah.
And I remember I sold a 32X to GameStop.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
For 50 cents.
No.
Yeah, that was the dumbest move of my life. I think that's the worst mistake I've ever made. Like 50 cents is the offer that they make to like not have to tell you that we don't want it. That's like the please don't sell it to us number. Back in the day, especially, that's what they would do. Is they would just lowball you. If they don't want it, they wouldn't say we can't take this. They'd say we give you 50 cents. Yeah. And I didn't pick it up because I was still kind of young and dumb.
Yeah, I mean, before KSL and Facebook Marketplace, I mean, I would go to Graywell CD and sell a lot of games, but because the price was so low, I would literally just sell on my own independently, and use my network with my friends. Hey, I have this game, let's sell it. Or like you said, find a way to trade or something.
Exactly.
But if I go to Graywell, it's like my head's down. I don't know anywhere else to go.
Gotcha.
What I try to do.
Well, nowadays there's tons of options out there.
Tons of options, man.
If you want to buy, sell, trade video games, you can. There's a plethora of physical locations that you can go to out here, and then also there's Facebook Marketplace. There's OfferUp, KSL out here, Craigslist everywhere else.
Yeah.
I think there's also Whatnot. Have you looked into Whatnot at all?
Not for games.
No, apparently that's a thing. So I'm just kind of discovering it. I knew it was like a weird streaming platform where you're basically selling and auctioning stuff off.
Right.
But a couple of my friends who are also resellers were telling me that if we could build a following, right? The idea is if we build a following and Whatnot, we could go through some of our overstock, the stuff that's hard to sell, and just sell it off to people on the internet,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of playing with that idea.
There you go.
But yeah, apparently that's like the new thing for Gen Z. Gen Z, when they want to buy and sell stuff, or
that's
they're trying
they're
to. Yeah, that's their home shopping network.
My grandpa played Tetris.
Like, yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, like they just scroll through it all night long. Like, oh, what do I want to spend $10 on? Right.
Yeah. So it's funny, man. Yeah. Jeff, my business partner, he does most of the buying and the praising for the retro games he comes out ahead. I like the gaming community, just like you mentioned, because they take such good care of the games. Mm-hmm. And so I don't mind paying collector prices from a collector because it's been handled with care. And I like it if I'm going to sell my stuff, I like it to go to the community because I know it's going to be preserved. If I sell it to some kid that's like, I just want to play it, it might end up broken or at a thrift store. But at the same time,
but
yeah.
So
it's meant to be played.
I think it's important to value games based on condition for sure.
Yeah.
And I try as much as possible to keep games in Utah. You know what I mean? Sure. So like I'll buy from out of state, but I try not to sell out of state too often. I don't go to like the other conventions and stuff. I just go to Utah conventions.
Just these ones. We appreciate that too. We try to do our part, you know?
So the more games in Utah, the better it is for the whole community. So I try to aim for that. We are looking at opening up an online store at some point, but I still want to keep all the really cool, like fast selling stuff in person in the store. Cause that gives me an excuse to hang out with the people that I like also geek out about games.
No, I love that. And congrats to you, man. Best of Salt Lake. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen you with a suit on before. That's a first and last.
I bought it for that.
Nice. I didn't know well deserved. Before. And I'm like, at least you're waving the flag for us gamers. Like, hey, we are Best of Salt. We're local. We contribute to the economy.
You know what's crazy is that we were competing against all of the card game and board game shops too. Yeah. They're all one category. Like,
no, I know they should separate that.
There are like probably, I would say maybe like 10 to 20 card game and board game shops in the Valley. About another 10 to 15 just video game stores. And then I would say stores like yours that do card games, board games, and video games. There's probably another like 5 or 6 of those.
Right.
And so I really think it would make sense to have separate categories, but I don't know. Maybe I'm on that.
I'd agree, but yeah, man, it's crazy.
Huge thanks to everybody who voted for us. By the way, that meant a lot to me.
Yeah,
I wanted a reason to buy a suit. I've never owned like a really nice suit before, and so
you look dapper, man.
I went down to UWM Men's Shop. Have you heard of them before?
No,
they're like a local place. It's short for like Utah Woolen Mills.
Okay,
they've been around for ages.
Okay,
but yeah, they hooked me up with a good deal on like my first ever like real adult suit. You know, I was a missionary at one point. I grew up Mormon.
Yeah.
And so I had like $200 suits from Mr. Mac.
Mr. Mac, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But this was my first time ever like owning one I had to make payments on over time.
No, I have a client that is a haberdasher.
Okay.
So he does custom suits and he'll come to your office or home and tailor you and fit you, and
nice.
He lets you pick everything from the lapels to the inside liner to the stitching. It's pretty cool process, but you're right. Get into that time to pay for a custom suit. Get what you pay for.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's spendy as heck, but
especially if you're only going to use it once, then you just wrestle with, do I really want to drop?
Well, no, I figure, I should probably have a suit, you know, like I'll need a suit when eventually, my
when you run for the video game mayor.
Oh yeah, sure. But like there are events where you should have a suit, a couple times in your life. And I'm at the point in my life now where I'm not really changing shape that much. So I don't have to worry about, I'm not growing, I'm not going to grow out of it. So I can just have it for eventually 20 years from now when I need it, So that's the idea.
Just make a big enough pocket in the coat for a Super Nintendo or Sega or something.
I bet you they'd custom do that over UWM if I asked them.
If you asked them.
They did fit me specifically for concealed carry, so that's nice.
Dude, that's what I said jokingly to my friend that owns JP Couture. I said, make it bulletproof like John Wick.
Oh, man.
He's laughing.
Put the Kevlar in there.
There you go.
I got this shirt from them as well. I'm pretty happy about this one, but yeah, they're pretty cool down there.
Nice.
Tell me a little bit about your store and kind of, I know you've moved to a new location, but just general like idea. I know you guys do card games, board games, and video games. What's that experience been like for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, take you back a little bit. So, I love sales. I've been in sales for 20 years and I have my own company, Kimball Consulting, and I've sold merchant processing. And one of my clients, Jeff, is the founder of Game Haven, and sold his shares of it to kind of go independent because he wanted to incorporate retro video games. Me and him have been friends for a long time. So who have a passion for all things pop culture, Star Wars, Marvel. And so video games would just come up, and he's like, I want to, you know, during the pandemic, the missionaries lived in my basement and would play Magic and Catan like every night because they couldn't go out, and we were all quarantined, like playing these board games. And I would order these technical board games and make the smartest missionary read how to play all the rules so we could figure it out. And then Jeff would be over playing Magic and just say, dude, we got to start a game store. And I'm like, okay, is there a market for that? It seems kind of niche. And I was at that point in my career where I was starting to look at investments. And so I remember telling my wife, hey, I'm going to do this game store. I'm going to be an investor with Jeff. And she was looking at me like I had worms coming out of my ears. Like, what are you, 9? Like Pokemon cards?
Oh my gosh. Well, at first glance, it sounds like a terrible idea, but I'm assuming it's been good for you. It's been good for us.
Yeah. So Galaxy of Games was born in West Jordan, and we outgrew our 3,000 square foot store there and busted out the seams. I do a lot of networking. So I marketed word of mouth and brought a lot of people in that wouldn't naturally fit that community, but we're like, hey, this is cool. I know someone that wants this or buys this or plays this. So I would just keep exposing people to the store, doing my one-to-ones there, everything. And that wasn't the intention, by the way, to sell people stuff in the store, but it would just be like, yeah, I mean, use the store as you can. And growing it has been fun. I love marketing video games and games. It's like so much funner than merchant services because it's less competitive and it's funner to talk about. But yeah, like 3 years later, Jeff bought, you know, this parcel of land out in Herriman with the design, the idea to do a game store out there. So we were like, okay, let's do this, and built it. Got in there just after May this year, 2025, and it's been awesome. Our grand opening is not finalized yet, ribbon cutting, but I'll keep you posted.
Okay, because you guys are definitely open. I stopped by. I bought some cards. I got some of the Final Fantasy Magic cards from you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And then my friends from Canada were visiting, and they taught me how to play Digimon. So now I guess I know a little tiny bit about how to play Digimon.
Dude, next on your list is Yu-Gi-Oh, but we don't sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards anymore.
they also love Yu-Gi-Oh too, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. Too many
TCGs out there.
That rabbit hole goes so deep. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh is, oh my God. Yeah, I don't have the mental capacity to pick up
another
Yu-Gi-Oh
one
on top of everything else. Honestly, I'm probably going to forget how to play Digimon within the next week.
That's funny. My friend was in town from Canada this week. But yeah, like we'll do a ribbon cutting with food trucks, raffles, and I'll keep you posted.
Oh, sick. Yeah. Do you have like a rough estimate when that's going to be?
Yeah, late July, early August.
Okay. Are you just like waiting to like finish moving stuff over, or what's the
no, I mean, Jeff and I would do it July 5th. It's just right after the holiday and people are out of town. We were toying with July 19th, and then we're looking at August.
So it's all just getting
I think so.
The timing right.
It's getting the timing right. I need time to go on the streets, and like the way I did West Jordan is I literally went in a 5-mile radius with flyers and invited everyone I could talk to.
Okay.
Come to this game store. Here's what I do. And people were looking at me like, what?
Yeah, I did flyers once when I just owned the Orem location back before we closed it, and they don't work nearly as well as I would have hoped.
No, but I think personal invitations go a long way. So if I can shake someone's hand and say, "Can I follow up with you?" I mean, I've been cold calling for 20 years, so to me, it's like there's a good way to do it that's not awkward, and being able to say, "Hey, there's something in the store for everyone." You don't have to be this gigantic nerd to play games.
Yeah, chatting with people and being authentic makes a huge difference. And that's a lot easier to do with board games and video games than it is with card processing.
Right. It's a social experience. I've been fortunate to have success in the merchant service world as well to free me up to do the game store as much as I do. But my superpower, Michael's making friends. Like I love networking, collaborating with different industries. I think why I love selling merchant services, it's vertical agnostic. I can work with almost any type of business. And then I'll take that person and say, hey, I might have a friend for you or someone that does this that could help you. And that's what the game store has been like for me. It's been meeting new people at this community and then helping people get connections. So fun.
Yeah, I suppose a person can really find passion in any job, but I feel like it's a lot easier in something with video games. It's
totally.
Like, I grew up playing video games since I was really little. Some of my oldest memories were playing Choplifter on some sort of computer that I'm not sure if it was an Apple II or whatever, because I was too young to know the difference. And now when I can like geek out with my customers all day long, it makes it feel like I'm not working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because you love it and you're so super passionate about it. It's obvious. And I don't remember much from, high school or college, but I can tell you the Contra code right now.
Yeah.
Like it's up, down, down, left, right. And so it's like, for me, it's like, I love the stories behind my video games because it's my childhood. It's like, yeah, the games are cool and I definitely hold space for it, but it's the people I spend the time with playing them.
Yeah, video games has always been a really good social way to connect with people.
Before the internet.
Yeah, no. And then
before social media.
When I was a kid, my parents were always like, video games they're going to rot your brain. Right. They're not good for you, right? And my excuse at the time was always, well, it's good for hand-eye coordination. You hear that one a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, it's good for hand-eye coordination. But really the biggest thing that in hindsight that I think that I gained from playing video games was social interaction, friend groups, really good socialization. I learned.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can already tell, but growing up, I was the most awkward kid ever. I had a really hard time making friends. I didn't know how to hold a conversation. I would do weird stuff. And video games got my foot in the door with other people who also liked video games and were willing to tolerate me being obnoxious because we had the Xbox and we had to hook them. You had to have as many Xboxes as you could to
play Halo
to get the 12 player. We never got up to 16, but we did get up to 12 players.
Oh, dang.
And they would tolerate me. They'd let me into the friend group, and then they would give me grief every time I was weird until eventually I got the hang of not being as weird. And now I feel like, maybe I shouldn't be the one to make this decision, but I feel like I'm pretty okay at talking to people now.
You're doing great. I wouldn't have even known that. And honestly, think about this. Elon Musk was playing video games. Everyone thought he was weird. How much is his net worth? He's doing incredible things. So he still plays video games.
He's got the big money. Did you hear about him and what was it? League of Legends though? Did you hear what was going on? Or maybe it was World of Warcraft. It was World of Warcraft. Or was it League? I can't remember which game it was, but apparently there's this big controversy where he's claiming to be one of the best in the world at this game. And there's a lot of evidence that maybe he paid somebody to play it and pretend to be him.
Hey, he's capable, but
I don't know.
That's a good one. I can't weigh in.
Elon Musk is a very divisive name. People either love him, hate him, or I don't think there's anybody that is in the middle. That's oh, he's okay.
I would say to those people, read his autobiography. You can't argue with his results. He is an entrepreneur.
So you're on the love him side.
Well, once I read his autobiography, I had more respect for him. Mm-hmm. Obviously, people in his book were you can't work for this guy. He's an asshole. It is there's, I'm sure he's on the spectrum. So it's
oh, definitely.
Yeah. So, it's hard for people to understand that we're all flawed humans, but just because someone's rich, you don't need to be hateful or anything. So.
Yeah, I think now that he's involved in politics a lot more, I think that's really polarized him. I think when he was first just focusing on electric cars and spaceships, it was really easy for people to rally behind him. But the moment that he's I'm with Donald Trump, anybody who liked Donald Trump is yay, Elon. And everybody who hated Donald Trump is screw you, Elon. I feel like that's what really kind of started the whole the hate train. I think
with I have a good friend, Sean Finnegan, who I do love and respect in networking. And PayPal, his exit from PayPal really made him, hey, this guy's a bona fide business owner. But
that's where most of his money came from.
Right. Yeah. And then SpaceX was you're nuts. Rockets. But at the same time, that creative entrepreneur drive, right? And
if it had failed, right, it would have failed so hard and cost him so much money. But he managed to make it work. I think SpaceX is getting contracts and stuff. They're still going. They haven't gone under. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I have a funny retro game story for you.
Oh, hit me with it.
I will. Okay, so in middle school, I would take my Game Boy to class. Mm-hmm. And even with the volume all the way down, you could kind of hear the clicking, the clacking.
Yeah, for sure. You could tell somebody was playing.
Right. And your head's not up. Mm-hmm. So, I was at Mount Jordan Middle School and my teacher would confiscate my Game Boy.
Okay.
And not just once, multiple times to the point where she's like, I'm going to have your mom pick it up. Mm-hmm. So my mom had to pick up my Game Boy. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I don't remember ever seeing it again. But I remember one day walking past her bedroom and hearing da 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 da, and my mom's playing Tetris.
Oh my gosh!
She basically is a gamer too. So when she was giving me flack, my mom's a gamer.
You know what though? She wasn't in school when she was playing Tetris. Just putting that out there. I don't think I ever really got in trouble for playing games at school that much. But but I do remember the Game Boy Pocket commercials.
That's the thing. They released it because of kids like me.
Yeah, you're the reason the Game Boy Pocket exists. Before the Game Boy Color came out, the little one. And that the whole commercial, every single time, it was always a different kid, but it was always like playing it at school, about to get in trouble, sneak it in their pocket.
Dude, this is the one piece I regret from my collection selling. When I opened the store, I invested and I gave most of my collection to Jeff to appraise and put towards my investment. And I had the ice blue limited edition Game Boy Pocket with the box manual. I took very good care of this because this was my baby, and that thing sold.
Yeah, you almost
Chrono Trigger sold.
Almost never see him with the box, man. Yeah. What do you do though? Like when I bought Game Changerz, my down payment on the store was almost all, well, no, really all of my video games except for one. I kept Gimmick on the Famicom.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But everything else, I sold off to. So when I first,
we're gonna have to have a therapy session, like cry ourselves to sleep over lost games.
I've come to terms with it.
Yeah, you're at peace with it now.
Yeah, so I had to stop collecting when I took over the store because I didn't want to be in a position where I was robbing the store anytime.
Yeah, don't get high on your own supply, dude.
Well, basically, yeah. And I didn't have the self-control and the willpower to pass up on games that were interesting to me. But I had collected over the years tons of PS1 JRPGs that you never see.
Yeah.
You know, I had the Persona 2 Eternal Punishment or whatever it was. Ones. I had Hoshigami.
Oh, yeah.
I had at that point gotten a Tales of Destiny 2,
Yeah, eventually. You had to fulfill the loop.
Mm-hmm. All of the anime stuff, you know what I mean, on PS1. I had like the Parasite Eve 1 and 2.
Oh, Parasite Eve was such a good game.
Man, those are through the roof.
Silent Hill. Mm-hmm. I played a lot of hours on those.
Yeah, and I just...
Mostly because it took forever to load.
Mm-hmm.
Like Resident Evil, opening the door.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I had like 5 figures worth of video games.
Holy crap.
It was a ton. And I sold all of them except for Gimmick to buy the store and cut myself off from collecting. So now I have a short list of games that I let myself keep. And they're almost all PS1 and PS2 games. A couple of imports, but it's Rival Schools on PS1.
Oh, yeah.
Brave Fencer Musashi. Parasite Eve. Final Fantasy VII. Ooh. And Metal Gear Solid. I think that's my whole collection right now. That and Gimmick on the Famicom.
FF7 Black Label, not the greatest hits. I think
it is a greatest hits. Honestly, maybe. I just wanted to play it.
I have the Black Label still.
Oh, nice.
I'll have to bring it in to show you.
And one more, Rhapsody Musical Adventure. I almost forgot about that one.
Oh yeah, during the pandemic, I played. I couldn't put it down. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just played start to finish.
Oh my gosh.
Beat that. Yeah.
Remake was so good.
So good.
And Rebirth looks amazing, but I'm having a really hard time making the time to sit down and play it.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm having the same time.
Yeah, you know, I feel like free time and gaming time is at a premium right now. And I feel like I used to play so many video games, and since I bought the game store, I haven't as much.
Same.
I do still have Wednesday nights for the boys.
Okay.
So every night we'd stay up till 1 a.m. playing online games. But that's about it. I mean, that and occasionally I'll get time to play something with my kid.
Okay.
You know, we're playing through Deltarune now.
Okay.
So that's fun.
He loves Fortnite, my son. I do play a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and
nice.
I'll do the Easter eggs with kids that need help with that. But I've already max prestiged out to 1,000.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even want to tell you guys how many hours that took, but
I'm not good at first person shooters anymore.
I play third person on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be amazing at Halo 1.
Yeah.
And then every edition of Halo that came out since then, I got worse and worse at it until now. Like if you put me in Call of Duty Warzone, I'm going to be like the second or third person dead.
Yeah.
I just rush in. I don't have any patience.
Yeah. Yep. But I do like, me some Diablo 3 and Diablo 4. I mean, I'll play those games, and it's all for the right people. So
it's so easy to collect games and then never get around to playing them, and the backlog builds up and builds
Story
up.
Of my life.
But that's why today we're going to be playing a game. Every time we do the show, we always make our guests actually take some time to play the game. So what have we got today? What have we got,
dude? This is Castlevania IV, Super Nintendo. This is a fun. I'm a gamer, but I'm very fond of this game for 2 reasons. My brother Brad loves the soundtrack, so we played lots of Castlevania 4, and it's just the the music was so catchy.
Oh yeah, well, all the Konami
even
games
the
have.
enter your name screen is so good.
It's pretty dang solid for sure.
I know this because I'll run out of characters, so we're just gonna do the U instead of the EW, even though that's not how you spell my name.
Drew down.
There we go.
All right. Heck yeah, man. So you grew up playing the Castlevania 4?
I did.
I've always heard.
I liked all the Castlevanias.
I loved Castlevania 1 as a kid. I played the heck out of that.
And the anime is good.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Netflix.
I heard it was
it's gritty.
The one negative feedback that I heard about it was that it was trying too hard to be a little too edgelordy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I can see that.
But I haven't watched it. I need to.
I mean, most of the skeptics or, critics aren't fans of the franchise. I'm biased, so I'm going to say it was good, right?
Well, the guy that told me that he's one of the biggest Castlevania nerds I've ever met. He's got almost all of them. I think there's one or two that he's still looking for on maybe original Game Boy, I think. Because there were some on the original Game Boy, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, the one on PlayStation 1.
The Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night, it's a slept-on game. That's a great title.
Oh, dude, that's one of the best ones ever, man. It's amazing. And then the Rondo of Blood is also really freaking good. It's got a very similar vibe, but I don't think that one came out in America except on Turbo CD, I think, until eventually later it got remade.
Look at the music, if it comes through, it's so good. Oh, so good.
Yeah, that music is solid. You know what I heard though, because I only played the first one really. I know the second one really turned me off because it was such a completely different game. But
did you see small tangent? Did you see the Angry Video Game Nerds review of that game?
Yes.
He rips it apart, and
that's his whole thing. He loves tearing games apart, and that second one makes it easy for him. But I think Castlevania 4 was kind of notorious for being kind of easy mode, right?
Castlevania 4?
Yeah, because you can shoot your whip every direction.
Yeah,
and
they definitely implemented something like this feature. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I think they did some things that tried to stretch the 16-bit technology. I just thought Konami was between Capcom and Konami, the game choices, the games on the Super Nintendo. Most of my favorites are made by those two companies.
Capcom makes some solid stuff. Are you a Mega Man fan then?
Oh, totally.
Heck yeah, man.
I mean, but Konami has Sunset Riders and Ninja Turtles.
No,
we were gonna play, but I'm like, dude, the music on this is just so iconic.
They definitely didn't mess around back then. I feel like Konami is not the beast that they used to be nowadays, especially since they parted ways with Kojima, and they put all of their focus on slot machines in Japan.
Yeah.
And
you are so hardcore. You say the name the right way. I'm so ignorant. When I grew up as a kid, I said Konami, that I still say it that way, even though I know it's not the right way.
I didn't want to correct you because I'm not 100% sure.
Pretty sure Japanese.
I think it's Japanese for small wave, like Konami. I think. But I'm not 100% sure.
I would believe it. I just remember anytime I saw that on a game, after a while of playing these games, I was like, okay, I'm getting it. I don't care what it is.
You see that logo and you know it's quality.
Yes.
And nowadays,
LJN, you see that? God. You're like, stay away from it. Wrestling game?
LJN's the worst, man. They were notorious. And Oceansoft, I think, was the other one that was anything that they put out, was like a bad port of a good game. Basically. So now that you've been running the game store for a while, because you guys have been open for what, 2 years?
We're in our fourth year.
Oh my gosh. How's that been for you? Are you getting the itch to rob the store and recollect again, or
I mean, as I said, I traded in a large chunk of my collection to the game store and started having some massive seller's remorse to the point where I've rebought a lot of it from Jeff and just the store, just because I wanted to see the store successful. But I'd go to these conventions and okay, I'm buying this. Nice. I sold it for $50, but I'm paying $300 today.
Right, because that's exactly what happens with the retro games, especially the good ones. They only go up. They never come back down.
And that's what I've learned. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep the collection I have. I have limited space, so I kind of told myself, just stick to the favorites. And then, when I do get the temptation to buy stuff, I'm like you. I'm like, will I have time to play it? No. Then am I buying it for an investment? So right now I'm doing a lot of commercial business investing and stuff like that. And I'm still building my portfolio with merchant stuff. But it's
how do you split your time between all of the different projects? Because for me, running a video game store is 50 to 80 hour a week work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's 2 books.
Yeah.
Who Not How and Buy Back Your Time.
Okay.
So and another book I'll kind of mention that kind of started me in this thought process was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay. Yeah. Now I've listened to that one on audiobook. And I remember being a kid thinking, wow, this is mind blowing.
Yeah. So like the concept is, you can trade your time for money.
Yeah.
You can be self-employed and make commission, or you could be a business owner. And the business owner needs to be a business, meaning it makes money when you're not there. So you have to create the system and get people to work the system. Mm-hmm. But you and I, I'm hands-on too, and I'm in the store more than I should. And I'm a small investor, but it's like, I want it to do well. I love it. And so I'm constantly trying to find ways to improve it with Jeff. And the challenge really is it has to be able to produce when I'm not there.
For sure.
That's the thing about business. And then investing is the fun part, because once you learn how passive income works, man, that changes your whole life, right? Because if you can make money when you're not working per se, then I think that's the American dream. A lot of people think it's like MLM or something. It's definitely a business or real estate. Real estate's probably one of the most popular paths to passive income.
Isn't that one of the hardest ones to get into? You have to have a lot of money to start with.
That's the concept. You can always, if you don't have the money, someone else does, but you have to put sweat equity in or time in.
Right.
So you have to ask yourself, do you want to manage residential real estate? Because I know when I had a rental and I lived out of state running a business, I was getting calls on my rental. Hey, my neighbors were like, hey, your tenant's doing this. And I was like, okay, no. And so I got out of residential real estate because I don't want to change a toilet on Saturday night. And so I have some storage units with Jeff, and working on some swigs with Sean Finnegan and his group. But it's I love commercial. It's way better for me. And I just love business. I've been in retail my whole life. I've worked at Albertsons for 6 years, Home Depot, and I love to help customers and build a relationship. So
So my experience with running Game Changerz has been that, yes, it does produce money when I'm not there, right? Yeah. But the more that I can be there, the more that it can grow.
Yeah.
And the more that I step away, the more it starts to slide back. Yeah. Right. So it'll still make money. The guys go in and they do an amazing job. But if I'm not there to rally the troops, and if I'm not physically at the store with them at least, 3-4 days a week, the morale dips.
Yeah,
because it's hard work.
It is hard work. Duplicating yourself is really challenging, especially in a business as niche as video games, when it's real estate and stuff kind of does the work for you, right? But with your store, from the outside looking in, you have the personality. The beating heart is Michael. But I see it as a good leader delegates and helps your employees feel like there's something in it for them. Yeah. So a lot of owners try to boss their employees around. I just try to make it hey, what are your goals? And as a mentor and being in sales and managing and recruiting salespeople, it's I don't know. I'll say it this way. My favorite quote is by Zig Ziglar. He said, you can have anything in this world you want if you'll help enough people get what they want. So it's the law of reciprocity. It's hey, you come build this with me, I'll share this with you. Because we live in a culture of what's in it for me attitude right now.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Well, that's human nature.
If you think about it though, all the employees that we have, it's hard to pay them above minimum wage. It really is. And then you have people, I have my niece and stuff who I referred my client to. She's an optometrist and she's like, Drew, do you know someone that wants a really good paying receptionist job? It's $18, $17.50 an hour. I'm like, for a college student, that's great. And then I'm like, hey, do you want this job? She's like, no, I won't work for less than $25 an hour. And I'm like, you're answering phones at a desk.
Yeah, so I've been having this problem. I can't pay anybody minimum wage at my store. Nobody will come do it.
They won't.
I've been trying my best to make sure the store grows enough that I can give everybody a raise every year. But I just had a guy leave because I couldn't get him above $20 an hour fast enough. Mm-hmm. He's been at 20 for a year and a half now. And before that, maybe 2 years before I put him at 20, he was at 15 for a while. Mm-hmm. But if I don't actively participate in growing the store and like doing things like this, like being on the social media, trying to build a YouTube, making sure that, you know, when people search for retro video games, that we're at the top of the list, all of the back end stuff that has to happen to make sure the store grows. If I'm not doing that, we're not making enough money to give people raises. And then I can't afford the caliber of person that we have right now. Because I think a large part of our success as a company has been, we don't hire part-timers out of high school at minimum wage. No, we hire passionate people who really know their stuff, and we have to pay them, enough to live and feel good about their job. You know, I don't want people going home and getting crap from their parents because they work at a video game store making $8 an hour or whatever.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We live in a day and age though where it's an abundance thing. I like Stephen Covey wrote the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He said begin with the end in mind. So to me, like, I kind of like to hire based on their goals though, like, because we as business owners have our dream, right? Yeah. And people that step foot in the store as an employee, they want a job. Unless we know, hey, they're passionate about video games, this would be great for them, because eventually if they are passionate about video games, they're going to become your competition, or you want them to essentially replace you.
I've had that happen twice, by the way.
Have you?
Yeah. So, do you know Retro Game Vault down in American Fork? He was my manager at the Orem location for years and years. And Casey up at Numbskull. Yeah. He's the one that got me hired at Game Changerz the first time I started working there. He trained me up. Then when I took over, he worked for me as a repair tech for a few years, and then he went and opened up Numbskull. So there are now basically Game Changerz and its 2 kids between American Fork and Roy. No, it's all right though. Yeah. They weren't jerks about it at all. They both, reached out to me and we talked about it, and they set up far enough away that we're not direct competition. We're still friendly. I'm still there to like answer questions and give them advice. Though at this point, they've been doing it long enough that they don't really come to me with questions as much anymore. But when Numbskull was first starting up, Casey was like, how the heck do you do this thing with your taxes? Or where do you find this one thing that I can never seem to get,
And something that helped me to know my role in being a business owner was what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. And so there's another book, got to read, The People That Learn More Earn More. So I'm going to quote books, you should read of these. But The E-Myth by Michael Gerber talks about the technician syndrome. So let's say you make pies, and Aunt Helen makes really good pies and then goes into business. Well, you have to do taxes and quarterlies and payroll and all those things. And if you're just good at making pies, you may not be good at running a business. Right. And so like when you hire, and this is the hard part about people keeping employees and systemizing it, is you have to be willing to step away. And this is the emotional part. As business owners, we feel like if we step away, it's going to fall apart. And in most cases it does, because our systems aren't in place. But the E-Myth would teach that it's not a business then, it's a job. You're buying yourself a job.
I guess. I mean, for me though, like if I were to work any other job, I would grow to hate it no matter what it is.
At least you're doing something you love.
Well, because I'm a quick learner, right? I'm good at like doing internet research on how to do things and picking it up quickly. But I get so bored so quickly if I do the same thing 5-6 times in a row.
Medusa.
Oh yeah, she's kicking your butt. Well, she is. She's chonky. I didn't realize how chonky Medusa was.
And I didn't realize it. Yeah.
There you go. Just wrecked her. But yeah, if I have to do the same thing 3 or 4 times in a row, I get so bored. And so, if our front door breaks, I'm a door technician for the day. You know what I mean? Yeah. If we're sick and tired of having all of our store music right behind the counter when we're trying to answer phones where we can't hear the phone, but the customers need to hear the music, right? I'm an audio technician for the day, installing speakers across the store. If it's time to file taxes, I'm a CPA. You know what I mean? Like,
you wear a lot of hats.
A lot of hats. And I think I need it to be that way to not burn out.
Yeah, perhaps. And your attitude's really good about it. You're not burned out, so that's why it's working. But I promise you this, once you learn, like Bruce Lee said, I don't fear the man who knows 2,000 kicks and practice them twice. I fear the man that's practiced 2 kicks 2,000 times. So master your craft means you get really good at what you do. It's like the X-Men. They all have one ability.
That's fair.
Get a team mentality and you guys will go so far. And that's what we try to do. Jeff knows he's not the people guy. He brings me in as the marketing sales guy. And I mean, I love connecting people, but like he's really good at the numbers. I'm not Fair. The guy that's emotional about how much money the business makes. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, you want Castlevania IV? Here, have it for free. Like I'm that kind of guy. I don't care. You did this to me the other day, Michael. You gave me one of my favorite games for the PlayStation 1 called Thrasher's Seek and Destroy. Just because I was like, man, the soundtrack on this game brings back a lot of memories. You're like, dude, needs some love, but go resurface it and play it.
Well, I mean, I couldn't help myself.
I love it, man.
But real talk though, I think that's when I give away games for free or I hook somebody up with a really good deal and the store doesn't make the money that it could have made, I do look at that as the store
I'm taking benefiting. Way too long. I'm gonna die.
I think the store still benefits from that kind of management style and that kind of behavior because it's a long game, right? And I think there's two strategies that you see a lot in these kinds of businesses where it's like, the short game is like buy low, sell high, get as much as you can for each item, make sure that the store is always making as much money as possible on each transaction. Mm-hmm. And then there's the long game where it's like, make sure the store is making enough money to survive while also hooking up the customers to the point where they become loyal, long-term, lifelong customers. And I'm a long game kind of guy.
Yeah, I love that.
I think if I can lose $10 to gain a 5-star review and a lifelong customer who not only like keeps shopping with us but like tells their friends because they love us, you know what I mean? That's the best $10 you can ever spend. You'll never get that kind of return out of $10 on a billboard.
Yeah, no, I agree. And no doubt with video games, the community that is passionate about it, it's just like when I surround myself with people like Sean Finnegan, I mentioned him a couple times in this podcast, he's really mentored me to think of like taxes as a way to scale your business. And I'm like, man, everyone hates paying taxes. He's like, that's because they're doing it wrong. So
what do you mean?
Like his company, Tax Hive, they do all the tax planning. So they basically are like, putting it to you this way, if a CPA and a bookkeeper are the guys that just, are the bean counters putting the numbers together so you can file. Mm-hmm. They're the company, and let's say a scenario here, that you go to Herriman's, buy your groceries.
Okay.
The CPA is the cashier that says you owe this.
Okay.
He's the guy, his company is the guy that say, Michael, you're buying this salsa, here's a $4 off coupon. They're the ones optimizing the write-offs because the tax code changes. So the tax planning, what I've learned in consulting and advocating for small businesses is that like helping my clients get them, and again, I'm not a tax expert, but I know people that are. I love networking and helping people get in control of their business because most business owners do wear a lot of hats and they don't know if they're hemorrhaging money, making money, losing money. Mm-hmm. And month to month, those things change because of all the laws changing and all the tax code constantly changing. I can't even keep up with it.
Yeah, sales tax is up again this next month, by the way. In July, they're raising it again in the Salt Lake County.
And so you got these employees that want to be paid well, but you're also faced against all the risk because you're the business owner. Whether it survives or not, it's not their fault. It's your fault.
Right. Well, I've got an SBA loan, and if we go under, I'm the only one that's really
your socials on it, your name's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like I work with people that are smarter than me to help with these things, so I can be an advocate for my clients. And then, my full-time job, spot on, the software tech that I sell. The reason I love it and passionate about it is the culture they've created. In 15 years working for the twins, the Hymans have done some phenomenal things with their business that I've been able to help with my clients to get results in terms of leveraging technology to increase sales. And I mean, I'm not an expert at it by any means, but that's the fun part of business is like, hey, we did this month. Let's
problem solving. Yeah. You got to find what works and what doesn't work and what hasn't been tried that you think is likely to work.
Exactly.
Well, that's my favorite part of it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I mean, I'm waiting for more gamers and creative people in business like yourself to be like, let's collaborate and do something fun together because there's so many cool opportunities out there.
Well, here we are. Right?
Here we are. We're doing it.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, we'll see how well the YouTube channel takes off. What I'm doing with this is I'm giving it my all. I'm putting in the best effort I can, and I'm hoping that it grows, but I'm not banking on it financially. You know what I mean?
Well, at least not yet, but let me be your who, not the how. Let me get you some viewers. Let me get you some people. Besides that, I mean, Michael, what does your business need today? What's like your immediate need? What could I take off your plate?
Oh, well, I mean, right now I'm just struggling with having enough time to do everything I need to do because I've got a new repair tech that I need to train, and he's a 40-hour-a-week guy, right?
I met him the other day. He's up at front.
No, the repair tech's in the back. The guys up front right now are Sam and Nate. Those guys are both really good at what they do. I do still need to, keep on top of a couple of things here and there with those guys because we're using a newer point of sale that we switched to after Sam's been using the old one for like 8-9 years, something like that. And
I know a guy.
Yeah. Well, we're using one that's in beta right now called Collect Point of Sale, and it is awesome.
Is it good?
The best thing about it is that if there's anything that it doesn't do or that it doesn't do right, I send them an email, and within like a month they've added whatever feature I've asked for. They are like really responsive.
Good little dev team.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Are they here? Where are they at?
I think you
gotta connect me with these guys.
They're out of state, but I can't remember what state. There's a video game store that they run, and then they decided that they weren't happy with any of the point of sale software options, so they got a team together to make a point of sale that they can use at their game store. And we got in on the beta. Right now, we're not paying for it because it is in beta, but once they bring their online shop integration live, that's when they'll start charging for it.
That's cool. Yeah, see, with Spot On, it's mostly hospitality focused, so bars and restaurants. But that vertical is so awesome. Like, it's everyone has to eat, so like guest experience is their big focus. Their biggest competitor in the space is Toast, but it's such it's competitive. That vertical is. Yeah, the margins.
I've seen both Toast and Spot On at restaurants when I'm there eating.
Yeah, and I mean, it's being a retail business owner is hard. I mean, restaurants, I think their net profit's like 4%.
Yeah, the margins are tight. Razor thin. Our margins are pretty thin too.
Pretty thin, yeah.
I mean, we're lucky enough that people understand when they're selling us games that we can't give them what we're selling them for. Our customer base is super chill about that. But even after,
but you're not going to pull 50 cents for a 32X or like GameStop.
Right. Oh my God. But even with the amount of money that we make off of each transaction, the overhead costs are just insane, man. And so, I think in an average year, I think I get to keep maybe about 10% of our gross, if that.
Yeah.
Like maybe more like 6%.
I mean, it's insane. I read an article. I don't know if it was Forbes or what business mag it was, but it's like the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. You have to have sources these days. And honestly, like...
Yeah, but is that a chicken or an egg scenario, right? Because like, if I had millions of dollars, I would set up multiple income streams too. It costs money to set up multiple income streams, but then that's how you get the money. So like, where do you start? If you wanted to get into being a millionaire, right? You can, if you don't have $1 million kicking around, it's really hard to like, if for instance, invest in ATMs around town, making $3 a transaction. That costs money,
It's true. I think of it as like, you can always spend more than you make. Like Mike Tyson, Willie Nelson, what do these guys have in common? They both filed bankruptcy, but they made millions of dollars.
Yeah, and they overspent.
Overspent. So I know people that live in Utah that are dentists that make a modest living, but they've used IRAs, they've used the long game approach. And the best financial advice I ever got was, if you live on less than you make and invest the difference, you can retire on any income. You just have to understand that, like Warren Buffett said it this way, like, would you rather have $1 million today or a penny that multiplies every day? Obviously that, right? The penny.
If it's doubling every day.
Doubling every day. Yeah. And that's the principle of uninterrupted compound interest. So your money can work for you at any level. It's just called discipline. It's like saying, hey, I can't lose weight. But it depends like how disciplined you are. Because if you have the discipline and the mental fortitude to stick to your goals, if you eat the correct foods and active living, you can get there. It's just it takes the long.
So what you're saying is I need to sell my motorcycle, spend better.
No, keep your motorcycle.
Oh, man.
But man, I think you should enjoy life. Don't live so frugally to the point where you don't enjoy life. There's a balance. And to everyone listening, like, I'm not the richest person here. I'm just saying, like, I've grown up in a home with a dad that lost his father to alcoholism, and I saw my dad. My dad's 86. So he grew up in a world where he thought food was going to run out. And I remember this black and white picture on my parents' fridge of this woman with square glasses with the scowl on her face, like she was going to murder you if you didn't eat her food. And she had this mixing bowl with an apron on, and in big bold letters it said, waste not, want not.
Oh, okay.
So my parents were like, you
learned frugality at a young
age.
My
dad's work ethic is second to none. He's relentless. He's 86. He still works full time. He's in his second career. And I mean, my mom was thrifty. She knew how to like stretch a dollar and provide for 6 boys, 2 girls. Like we had hand downs, we had patched jeans. We didn't have the latest, greatest Nintendo 64 because my parents didn't. My parents were like, you want braces? That's funny. Go buy them. You want a car? Go buy it.
So when I was growing up, my parents were definitely not in the money, and my dad was working 2 or 3 jobs. He was in the Navy at first, and then he left that so that he could be at home more because the Navy kept him away.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like a night manager at McDonald's while also going to school, and it was rough. You know, he would bring home like whatever they were going to throw away for the day, and that was our dinner, right?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, and it's funny because you sell retro games, but you want to know what's funny? It's like retro game companies listened to the parents, and they made games about jobs. So we had Paper Outs when I was a kid,
and then Paperboy,
comes out. I was like, why do I want to play a game of the freaking job I have? What are they going to come out with next? Dishwasher 64? Like,
well, now there's Power Wash Simulator and all. That's a real thing.
Is it really?
Yeah, and Farming Simulator is super popular. Man, yeah.
Cooking Mama teach you how to bake, and
I
it's
love
like
Cooking Mama.
That game's good though, actually. But it's like it's just funny how like we were looking at your game at the store the other day, Home Improvement.
Oh yeah.
And it's like they had games of sitcoms that like, what? This is a video game? Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, I'm like, oh, no wonder I didn't hear about this. It didn't appeal to me.
It was a cash grab, though, because it's clearly a different game that they reskinned to Home Improvement at the last second.
Like a dad I could see that's like actively going to Lowe's or Home Depot. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get my son Home Improvement so they can learn how to use power tools.
For real, man.
Like, what do you do in the game?
Like, that's not a real
I don't even think it's about the game.
It's a platformer, I'm pretty sure.
You just shoot people, right?
You just go to the right and jump and hit stuff, yeah.
There's so many games mismarketed like that.
You know, it's interesting though, like growing up, I grew up poor and I did not learn to be frugal. And so, you know how in video games, there's 2 kinds of people. There's always the person that has tons of money in their you know, tons of gil in their account or whatever.
Yeah. Gil, dude.
Yeah. Or there's the people that are always dead broke and like, oh, I got to go grind to get the next weapon or whatever.
Yeah.
I was always the second style, you know, because I'd rather have good equipment to help me get to the next area than have the money sitting in the bank in case I need it later. You know, you can hoard all your X potions to the final boss and then beat the game with 99 of them, right? Yeah. Or you can use them as you need them, right? And so for me, when the store does well and it makes good money, it's really hard for me
to treat your friends to a round of drinks on your gil. Look at me, you've spoiled me.
Oh, whatever. It's just a Red Bull.
It's a Fiji water, man.
Man. But I have a really hard time though when there's money in the bank deciding, do I invest it in new inventory to sell? Do I work on some new software for the store to make things better? Do I start a YouTube show? Like, do I give my guys a bonus or a raise? Like, what do I do I spend it on a nice suit for Best of Salt Lake? Like, I don't know, because I don't think the right answer is always keep it in the bank for later. I think there's a certain amount you have to have in savings for emergencies, but like, the problem I have is when we have good money, I want to put it towards making more money. And I don't always know exactly which thing I can spend it on that's going to turn into money, because some of them are just money sinks.
Yeah, you're right. And marketing is a question mark in this day and age with digital everything. There's so many companies that are like, I know the algorithm on Google to get you to #1. It's like, really?
I have a firm policy. I do not spend money on marketing.
Okay.
Because I have in the past done like paid KSL ads. I've done like Facebook boosts. I've done billboards with Blip, where they do like the digital billboard where you pay for like the amount of time that you're on there, but it rotates through 20 different people. And none of that has ever produced, I've even done Yelp ads, never produced any return at all. Whereas just doing a Facebook post once a day, which is free, cost me like 5 minutes of my time, right? Has absolutely paid off. It's blown up. And so if I can spend like an hour of my time hanging out with a cool guy and learning, his perspective on business, and then post it on YouTube after maybe like 5 or 6 hours of editing, and that turns into people paying attention and learning about my store and like coming back for more, right?
Yeah.
That's way better than $500 on radio ads.
Oh, totally. And like, that's why I mentioned people like Sean and Jeff, is because when you're networking, it's never like, what's in it for me? It's like, how can I help you? And by helping you, there it goes, my first death, man.
Dude, you've been nailing this game.
This is my first death.
Oh, the first and second right in a row.
Get my butt kicked. But yeah, like, I believe, I like this. I'm going to share this as best I can. Sean shared it with me. So a Clydesdale horse, pretty powerful animal, right?
Yeah, for
can
sure.
pull twice its weight.
They're beefy boys.
Beefy boys. 2 Clydesdales together can pull 2.5, 3 times its weight. Doesn't make any sense. But it's the power of networking. 1 + 1 = 3. So to me, like, leveraging people that can help you it's necessary, and it's funner. It's like, it's lonely at the top anyway. Like, you don't want to be by yourself in business. It's impossible these days, like, to get there by your own. I love hearing, hey, this is a self-made millionaire. It's like, well, he had people. Like Post Malone, I had some help.
Well, my goal isn't to be the richest man on the planet, right? But I do want to be the video game store that everybody thinks of when they think of a video game store. And so far in the local area, I feel like I've got that pretty handled.
You do, and you have so I did the same thing. I want that chicken so bad, but I don't know how to jump,
bro.
You have to. Well, it's not that. You have to jump, and I'm forgetting how fast you have to push jump on these games.
Did you even need the chicken? I think you were at full health.
I know, but it's just fun to get. It's the sound, man.
It's the collectathon. No, but like, everybody I've talked to has always told me, don't get a partner. Don't go into business with somebody else.
Partnerships are hard
because you're gonna end up butting heads. You're gonna disagree, and then that's gonna cause strife and friction.
It's true.
And I often wonder if something like taking on a partner would make things better or worse for me. What's it been like doing a 2-man show where you guys are at?
I can agree with you. It is hard. I will say this. I love Jeff, and you have to have that understanding of someone is different than you, and they're not always going to see eye to eye with you.
When you and Jeff are very different.
Very different. And the thing is, that's good. It's like a marriage. Opposites attract, but you have to understand your role. Because if you're going to try to do his work and he tries to do my work, it's like, that's where it gets annoying.
You have to have like solid boundaries.
Totally. I mean,
do you guys butt heads?
I mean, I wouldn't say we butt heads, but we've disagreed and we can work it out because we're adults. And
what's the best way to resolve something like that? Because I can imagine a scenario where I bring in a partner.
Screw the chicken.
We disagree about something, and then either we stall and take forever to make a decision, or one of us gets our way and the other one leaves unhappy, and that festers.
So another Stephen Covey thing about 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is seek win-win. Always have a win-win as the end goal. I have a lot of relationships in my life, some men, some women. Sometimes it's like, we try to be like, well, this person's unreasonable because they won't seek win-win. Probably, but like, I try to be aligned with my values and be agreeable no matter what. Oh, I'm gonna get tongued by the skull.
Oh, that's nasty, man. What level are you on right now?
I don't know. 5. I'm like halfway through the game.
Dude, that's so disgusting.
Yeah, turds falling out the wall. No, worms or rocks or whatever.
You guys are both getting damaged at about the same rate. You had him at about, it was close though, too. One more hit would have done him.
I'm just focused on the conversation. So here, I'll stop for a sec.
Oh,
so
it's okay.
What I would say about partnerships is, swallow your ego, get that out of your head that you have to be right. Because the only thing that matters between you both is the success of the business. And the success of the business is how happy are your customers.
Really, that's what it comes down to, yeah.
Yeah, because we talk about how much you take home. In 4 years of being an owner of Galaxy of Games, I've had one draw. I haven't taken any money. We've reinvested everything in the store. And so literally I have a full-time job. And I love what I do, and I love who I work with. The thing is with partnerships is, you're right. If you have to know, like, hey, if I'm going to exit this business, what is my business partner's responsibility? Would he buy me out? All those things. Or are we going to have multiple locations, franchise this business? You need to know kind of what direction you're going to take it. And if you're going to be a one-store owner, great. Just, you have to have goals to be profitable every year, or at least grow by 10% every year. And that can be difficult when, we're in a niche space like video games or something. And so you have to come up with creative ways like you're doing with this podcast. And this is awesome. And just getting ways to interact with the community. And I think you're doing it, and you're doing it the right way. A lot of people too, is they want to be a Me Too business. Meaning they go see someone else have success and they're going to ride their coattails and do the same thing. Give you an example.
Follow along.
Yeah, I mean, like the pop shops. We have crumble cookies. We had, how many of those popped up? Dirty Dough and all these Chip, everyone else. Swig, there was Thirst and Quench and a bunch of them. And Dubai chocolate. I mean, there's a lot of trendy things that will come out and then everyone wants into the space.
They copycat.
They want that. I want that instant gratification. Want that, get that sell fast. I mean, you're in a long game because you're in such a passion project. But like going back to your original question, like are partnerships hard? Absolutely. It's like a marriage. If you don't want to get divorced, go into business with the right person. But go into business.
It's the hard part, right?
Yeah. Unlike, and resolve with communication. If you can't communicate regularly, it will fall apart. So you either have to have daily communication or a weekly phone call or a huddle. Get your team excited about the store and the brand and the vision and make sure their goals are aligned with your goals, or else they're going to become your competition or just quit on you. Or the employee theft is going to go up because they're unhappy and they're feeling entitled and you're not paying them enough. So they're going to pocket whatever money or games. And we see it. Every business has shrink.
Sure.
It's sad to say that. I wish we could trust everyone, but the reality is they feel entitled because they don't feel like their needs are met goal wise financially. Mm-hmm. If someone would sit down with me and say, Drew, I need a loan or something, I would say, well, what are you trying to do? Like, what are your goals? What's your 5-year plan? What's your 12-year plan? Most people don't have it figured out that far ahead. I don't. But at the same time, I'm also like, hey, I'm willing to work on things, pivot, and be nimble, adjust, and go about it like, hey, let's be methodical about what money comes in today. Like you said, I don't think it's going to grow sitting in the bank, but I also want to be strategic with where we put it in the market, because it's like, you're not always going to get an ROI with flyers or news ads or whatever. So to me, like there's another book I love, Jeb Blunt's Fanatical Prospecting. Okay. It's a multifaceted approach. Mm-hmm. You got to do social media marketing and sales. You got to do email marketing, phone calls, door knocking, cold calling. All of it's important. There's not one linear path to growing your business. It's literally just the grind, the hustle, the passion. Mm-hmm. It has to be sustainable though. If you don't set goals and your team's not a part of those goals, it'll fall apart quickly. It's not just you're the owner, you're the manager, this is your problem. No, everyone that is working for the company is basically an owner. We live and die by.
I don't know about that, man.
Like, yeah, you don't know.
I think I have high expectations of my staff, right? Yeah. I expect them to do a really good job. I expect top-notch customer service. I expect them to know what they're talking about when it comes to the games. And I feel like that is what I can expect. You know what I mean? If I try to ask more, if I'm like, hey, I need you to, also on top of that, feel a sense of ownership and be thinking of ways that we can expand and grow the business, that I'm asking more of them than is fair.
Sure.
Because I'm already at their base level expecting a ton.
But is it transactional, or is it like, because we become friends with those we work with because we spend a lot of time with them. Mm-hmm. So then you have to ask yourself, how well do you know your employees' goals? Like, do you sit down on one-to-ones and say, hey, I know this is the fun question to kind of play, but it's like, if you could do anything in this world you wanted, time, money, talent wasn't an obstacle, what would you do? And why would you do it? And play with that dream for a minute, because you'll find that most people are not in the job they want to do. They'll be like,
sure.
Or they'll be like, hey, I want to be an actor. It sounds far-fetched. Or there I'm toast, man.
Oh, fair enough, man.
But I mean,
we're getting close to the end of our time anyway, but.
And this game is great.
It's such a great game. Yeah. And I would love to pick your brain and chat with you for probably like 5 to 10 hours straight, because I feel like there's enough between the two of us that we could both entertain each other for 10 hours, but we're at time.
Yeah, we're at time.
We're out of time.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you taking the time to come and chat with us and share your perspective. Do you want to give a little shout out for your story?
Sure.
A little quick ad?
Yeah. I guess it's still on. It looked like it shut off.
Son of a it's off. When did that happen?
I looked over and I'm like, oh yeah, it's closed.
Why? I didn't even notice. Okay. So if you're all right with it, I'd like to back up about 5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. And so, if you take away anything from this, like, do what you're passionate about, but don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out. I mean, that's why there's players guides and cheat codes and shark.
That's fair, man. And like
Game Genie,
taking the time to kind of evaluate what you are and aren't doing well. And I totally feel that. I have a problem with finding time, or managing time maybe, but it might be the issue, because there's a lot of things that I have to do as a store owner that I can't really delegate if I want good results. And it's not because my guys aren't good enough to figure it out. It's because some things I bring to the table that are just knowledge I built over 10 years. And a new guy, for instance, I'm training a repair tech right now, right? Yeah. And if I don't give him one-on-one quality time and I just set him loose on customer repairs, we're going to get bad customer experiences because he doesn't have decade plus of experience with that. I need to make the time to show him how I do it so that he can kind of benefit from 10 years of experience within 1 year. Right. Yeah. And when it comes to the show, right, I have to be the one here doing it, because not only am I kind of the face of the company, but I need my guys at the store. They're there making money right now. Yeah. They're doing a great job of that, but I can't throw them into here and just be like, here, hit the ground running with a completely different set of skills from what you already have. Like,
that's a good point.
It's not fair. And so even just taking the time to do all of the things that I already have to do, plus on top of that, like running the store enough that I don't have to hire a new guy, because that's another, 5 figures worth of money that I would have to spend a year. Yeah. And on top of that, finding the time to do all of the extra stuff to try to grow the company so that I can continue to give my guys raises every year. If I need to sit down and figure out, work with somebody or do it solo, just figure out what I'm doing well and what I'm doing badly and reevaluate that. I don't know when I'm going to find the time to do that. And so that's been my biggest problem, really.
The proof's in the numbers. Take the P&L statement, the profit and loss for the business, and that'll kind of give you a good indication of where your strong suit is, where your weaknesses are. Okay. And use that as a map. If you're on Zelda, like where are the treasures at? And focus your energies on those. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Right. So like in another Steve and Covey vernacular, keep first things first. So just like he does this object lesson with like an empty jar, and he puts the big rocks in first, then the sand, not the other way around. Right. So think about this 80-20 rule. Where do 80% of your revenue come from? Whatever those activities are, that's what your week has to do first and foremost. Then you fill it in with like, hey, I have these other hour slots to do some activities that may or may not grow the business, but you still need to do those because like you need a full facet of marketing and that approach to, hey, I want to grow and I don't know how to do it. So yes, I mean, I'm not an expert at this because listen, I'm probably the most distracted individual and I get really bad with time management because I like to do it all. I say yes to everything. So the hardest part in business, I think, is to say no to things that are of least value, to focus on those high value activities and objectives, and keep your MO like, hey, your business has a mission statement, or at least it should. And ours doesn't yet either. But I try to be like Galaxy of Games. There's something in the store for everyone. It is a hybrid of cards, board games, and video games. So I try to market to someone that has those interest levels, right? But at the same time, like figure out your target market and then go to the market with the message that we are the company for you.
Yeah. I mean, we have like our slogan is that we take care of you because we are you. Okay. Right. Because we were also video game customers as well as being in the store. And I think our goal every day is, and I tell my guys, this is what we aim for with every interaction. We want every customer who leaves our store to leave saying, wow, I'm glad I went to Game Changerz today. Yeah. And, I try to do everything I can to make those two things happen and take care of our customers because we are our customers. Yeah. And make sure that they leave feeling like it was a good thing that they came to our store that day. Okay. When it comes to like, how to go about that, there's a million different ways to, push those goals. But I think if we have there's 3 things that I think are super crucial to a store, especially like ours, right? You have to have good product. Yeah. You have to have good prices and you have to have good customer service. If you have all 3 of those, there's nothing to stop you, really.
There's no, and I will say, Game Changerz, like what comes to mind is, well, you package your games. Like there's some things I would like to do at our store too, but I would say it like this, like price, is relative, because if someone's getting a quality experience, people buy what they want.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. And I think there's
we are Utah. We're pretty cheap, but
I like to say any item will sell at any price, but the higher the price, the longer it takes.
That's true.
But I'm of the opinion that because prices change so rapidly and you can easily lose money on something if it sits on the shelf too long, right? I'm of the opinion that it's better to have a lot of stuff coming in really fast and have it all going out really fast.
Yeah,
so you have that,
burn it.
Exactly. So I want to sell as many things as I can. And so I got to price them low enough that they're going to sell fast, right? But then I also have to pay enough that stuff keeps coming in fast. And it's always a balance, because people complain like, hey, your prices should be lower, right? But also the amount that you give for trades should be higher, right? Those are the two complaints that I used to get a lot when we were first starting out. I think now people have kind of got the idea, they've kind of figured out that, you know, all the other game stores are kind of percentaging around where we're percentaging. They've kind of like followed suit. But you can't have both of those things at the same time, right? You can't give more for trade and sell for less at the same time, because then you don't get to exist.
Well, and I think of a consumer, right? But you're a business owner. What are the two main objectives of a business owner? You know, to control cost of overhead and to increase sales and customer acquisition. That's your goal every day. And so to me, it's like, we want to live in this world where we're shrinking the prices from both sides, right? But the consumer, that's how they're conditioned. Almost saying to you, Michael, and the perception is, and I'm a gamer too, so I'm going to say it, is maybe those are the wrong customers. We are playing a low game because we're setting the bar, the threshold's too low. Yeah. When you set it higher and you're playing a different game, it's not a matter of, are the prices high enough or too low? You need enough opportunities at bat to hit. All you need is a bunt or single to get to base. So think of it like this. If you have enough marketing exposure to your store and you have enough customers come in, it's a numbers game. If you had 10 people look at a Virtual Boy and it's $500, but it's a special piece for someone's collection. If you got enough people cycling through that store, someone's going to buy it eventually.
Oh, see, I have a history with Virtual Boys, though.
That's a random example.
I know, but it brings up an interesting point, though. I would rather, instead of having a Virtual Boy sit on my shelf at $500 all year long, I'd rather fully refurbish the two eyes or whatever. You know how they have to, they start flickering unless you refurb them. Yeah. I would rather hold on to a Virtual Boy until Black Friday and then sell it at $300 and get people lined up out my store excited about that Virtual Boy. And I've done it the last, I think, 2 or 3 Black Fridays. I've had a Virtual Boy on our doorbusters every year, and I might have 3 sitting in the back room waiting so I can keep doing it every year just for the memes, because I feel like
Wario Land for me,
making the most money you can off of a sale comes with a cost that a lot of people don't realize.
Sure.
You can spend, thousands of dollars a year on marketing and advertising to try to get people into the door who will spend the most on these items, right? Or you can sell those items for a bit less, still make a little profit, but not as much, right? And build a rabid fan base of people who are coming in all the time, excited about your store, telling everyone about your store. And that's kind of my strategy. I would rather sell a Virtual Boy for $300 and absolutely make somebody's day than have it sit on the shelf at $500 until somebody who has been looking for one for a long time is really like, oh, I guess, okay, I'm willing to do it. I don't want somebody to buy something and feel like, I just barely am okay with that price.
Yeah.
That's not my goal. I know that it's hard to do though, because I have to, Virtual Boys, I can't get them for cheap. Yeah. Unless I buy them broken and fix them up.
Yeah.
Right. Which I got lucky enough that I was able to do that recently. But there's always that balance between, you have to pay as much as you can to get in good stuff.
Yeah.
Without, paying more than you can sell it for or more than you can afford to pay. And you have to sell it low enough that people keep getting excited. And it's always a balance. There's competing forces that you have to figure out which ones get your love, right? Does the low prices get most of my attention, or does buying stuff for a high enough price that I'm not barren on my shelves because nobody wants to bring me anything? Which of those two because it can't have both be at a 10.
That's true. And my perspective doesn't come from video games. So guys like listening to this, like selling merchant services, home security, all the things I've sold, I guess what I'm trying to say is you're focused on the lifetime value of the client, which is awesome because that shows that you're in the game, pun intended, for the long haul. But when you're selling something like as a commodity, as like merchant services, for example, point of sale,
right?
It's such a hyper competitive market that I'm used to the customers wanting some sort of a deal to a point. It gets to a point where negotiation gets insulting when they're like, I don't want you to make anything and I'm going to cancel on you whenever I want because no one deserves to feel marginalized. You're a business owner. You're taking all the risk. You have a store. They don't understand maybe all the overhead costs. And they want a Virtual Boy at $300. But let's say you bought it for $250 and you're paying rent this month and employees $20 an hour. It's a skinny margin, man. To me, it's like you're not ripping that client off because there's not a lot of people in the valley that, one, have those. And two, it's like you just need to know your worth because if a customer is like in this gaming community, it's a different audience than like a lot of the things I've sold. But the same principles apply. Like you still have to be like, look, I want to create a great customer experience. I want those 5-star reviews, but at what cost? Like I'm okay to lose money on the entry level sale. We're doing a Switch 2 giveaway and stuff to like get people in the door to patron the store. But it's like at the end of the day, we value the lifetime customer value too. But it's what cost? At some point, you have to have a threshold where it's like, hey, I will do deals too, but to what cost? There's sometimes in sales, and I learned this the hard way from a lot of years of losing money and attrition, is know when to fold them, walk away, and just be okay with that. And I hate all the free consulting I've done, Michael, and I've done a lot of it over the years, and I've given people the shirt off my back to get deals, and people would cancel. They're never loyal. And they'd spit in my face and say, hey, I'm not happy with this or that. To me, you earn a customer by, one, creating the atmosphere they like to buy from, but two, it's the long-term emotional effect. People justify logically, but they buy emotionally.
Absolutely.
Facts tell, stories sell. So when you create a story of your business, like, hey, this is why you should buy from Game Changerz. We are you. That's great. My company's spot on. It's like, your business is our business. I'm kind of like, I created my own slogan that's like spot on. We help business owners work on their business, not just in their business, hence the name Spot On. But at the same time, it's like, because most business owners want more time. And they also want to be more profitable. And in order to do that and have a win-win transaction, we have to meet them like where they're at. What are your goals? Like you're coming in with a budget. What are you after today? What's like, are you a collector? Are you avid gamer? What do you play? And make them feel like they're a part of your story, because essentially you want them to come back and repeat business with you. And so I haven't found out the secret formula. All I know is that I've disqualified a lot of customers that are suspects that waste your time. And they're the ones that want refunds, and they're going to tell the credit card company this or that to get chargebacks on your merchant account. And it happens. But I like the customers that are like, I bought because you guys made me feel good, like I'm part of the team or family. And to me, they're out there. You got to find them and interact with them. Everyone deserves to feel that. But
everything is a balancing act, right? Everything in business, everything in the games, everything in life, I think, is in some way a balancing act. And so, like I was saying before, balancing how much we give on trade versus how much we sell for it's always competing forces, and you got to balance them. And you kind of have to cultivate whatever is going to be important to you and your business. I feel like over the last 10 to 15 years, what we've managed to cultivate is a good customer base.
Totally.
I think a lot of businesses will come out and say, hey, we've got the best prices, and like 5 different stores say it, and it can't be true for all of them, but they all say it. We give the most in trade. And I like to tell people we're very competitive with trade. We'll always beat GameStop. But I stopped saying we give the best, because we used to say that, right? But I think we do. I try to, but I don't want to be wrong. But what I will say 100%, my store has the best customers. Absolutely, hands down, the best customer base. And I think if you're focusing on the long game the way that we have, I think that's the result. The result of being willing to lose a little bit here and there to build that connection is that you end up with the customer base that isn't doing the chargebacks or trying to bend the rules of the system. Oh, I need cash back on this thing, even though you guys normally do store credit back. We used to have a lot of really difficult, high friction interactions with some of those types of customers.
Sure.
And knock on wood, it's the last maybe like 3 or 4 years, it's been positive interaction after understanding and cool customer after understanding and cool customer. We've built the best, I think, customer base in the Valley, and that's it's been expensive and it's been difficult, but I think it's been worth it.
And that's the message you tell. And that's what it comes down to. I have a friend named Dan. He runs PC Laptops, and he's like, PC Laptops, we love you. He's like that in real life. I used to think those commercials.
I've seen those commercials. Yeah.
Right.
He's got the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. Dan, man. And honestly, like every company has this culture and this beating heart of like why people are attracted to buy from you. And it's usually the image of the owner. It's usually their like energy is infused in it.
For sure.
And so when people are like wanting to work for us, people don't quit their job. They quit their boss. Like they want to work for someone they like. It's the same thing with your customers. They want to buy from someone they like. They want to buy from someone they feel cares about them, because at the end of the day, that's an emotional transaction for them.
For sure.
Like we all work hard for our money. Don't get me wrong. People think it's all about prices. I promise you guys, we live in America. We're number one in the world for consumerism. Like we spend more than any other country. And like, there's way more beer sold than Bibles. So we don't buy what we need. We buy what we want.
Fair enough.
Totally.
Man.
So
I don't know. I feel like I need beer sometimes.
Yeah. Hey man. So buy it.
I really appreciate you coming out and chatting with me, man. We are a little bit strapped on time, so I think it's about time to wrap it up. But before we do you want to give a little shout out for Galaxy of Games?
Yeah, sure. So find us online, Galaxy of Games Utah, spelled out, on Instagram. Galaxyof.games is our URL. You can also connect with me on Instagram, Drew_Kimball, Kimball, or Facebook or LinkedIn. Love to help any way I can. I'm always looking for new friends and sharing the connections I have. So
heck yeah, man. It's a great store. I've been there to buy Magic cards and whatnot. I've always had a good experience there. Man. And then not to right afterwards, but I have to put this at the end of every episode. This episode's brought to you by Game Changerz. That's my store. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Gamechangers with a Z at the end.com. Swing by if you get a chance. We're in South Salt Lake on 3309 South State Street. Thanks again for coming out, man. I really appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Michael.